guys, and welcome to the shop. For those that are new here, I am the Convicted Christian. I have that name because I am 7 years clean and sober, and I did almost 10 years in prison, on and off from the ages of 18, 19, until 29. So, for those that are returning viewers, you know that today is Life Story Monday. It's late again today. Yesterday just wasn't feeling it. Where I am in Wisconsin, we got some pretty heavy snow, and the weather's just been kind of crazy here. So I just wasn't in the mood. And as you'll see in the video later, it's gonna be a weird video, and I got to explain that first. So last week talked about how I emotionally felt in Dodge, first entry into the prison system, and what I did when I was at Fox Lake. Today I'll talk a little bit about my release, and then that's kind of where the issue is. Between my usage and my drinking, I don't remember much of that time in my life. I know a few scant things, and I know what I've been told that had happened during that time, but I don't really remember what happened to me, to anyone that I know. And for those of you that may or may not be in like a 12-step style program, or are thinking about that path to sobriety and being clean, that those times make it hard, especially if you're like countless other people that are coming off of drugs and alcohol, where you want to do the amends step, you want to make amends. The way that it was explained to me, and I wish it was part of the 12 step, AA, NA. I wish it was part of that, as maybe not mandatory, but as a regular part. He said that he wasn't going to make me go through making my amends until I wanted to, because then it becomes more impactful. And as you work through the steps, as you work through your issues, and as you work through your own pain that led you to do whatever it is that you did, you start to notice the pain that you caused others. And once you see that, it's like you want to make the amends. It's like you want to, one, prove to other people that you can change. That's not the point of the program. That's not the point of AA or NA or any of the A's. But it's also to show that change is possible, and you're working on it. But you want to make amends because you actually feel compassion for the people that you hurt through your using or your drinking or whatever it is you were doing. But it makes it hard, because especially if you can't remember those times. Because if you can't remember those times, how are you supposed to make amends for things you don't remember? And so you just do the best you can. And when new memories surface, or if you know that you hurt somebody, you just don't know how, you still ask for forgiveness, and you say something along the lines of, "Hey, I don't remember what happened. I blacked out. I was too high. I was whatever the case may be. But I can't remember what happened, but I apologize. And I am so deeply, deeply sorry for what I did in that time." And until you can remember what happens, that's kind of the best you can offer. Hang on, I gotta plug in. And so, I will do the best that I can, and talk about what I remember, but this is probably going to be a short video. Some of you are probably all like, finally, back to short videos. Yeah, well. Oh, and I know that I said that I was going to do a sharpening video this last Friday. I could not find my video on sharpening. At least my technique of sharpening. I could not find it. I found it in my intro. I found everything else, but I could not find my sharpening video recorded at all. So I re-recorded it. Re-recorded it? Yeah. Recorded it again, however you want to phrase it. And this Friday will be my um, sharpening video. So release date. Excited, right? Absolutely. Absolutely excited for release from prison and hoping that it will be the one and only time that I go to prison. Here's the thing. Recidivism, which is people going back to prison after already serving prison or jail, within the first year is like 73%. It's extremely high. And I have my ideas on why that is. Some of it has to do with the continued outside support. If they're not getting the same support that they got while they were in and they were doing good, the chances of them being able to continue to do good without the support aren't the greatest. And that's a shame. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that we could just kick off where we started. But that's not reality. That's not how it actually is. And so, getting out as an amazing time as it is, as exciting and thrilling as it is, that I get to go outside and I get to have real food. I get to see real people. I get to be around civilians, non-prisoner people. It's terrifying if you either don't have a support group or don't know how to utilize your support group. Because if you can't utilize what you have, it might as well not be there. And it's scary because you hear all the horror stories. 73% recidivist rate means that 3/4 of the people that you meet in the prison did multiple times. And there are people that want to change. There are people that want to do better. But there's also a lot of people that don't and will play the victim. They will act like they had nothing to do with their reincarceration. It was all the PO's fault. It was the police officer's fault. It was their baby mama's fault. It was their, parents' fault. Whoever's fault it is. It's everybody else's but theirs. And when you're, a young 19-year-old, don't know what you're doing, and all you hear is, oh yeah, your PO's going to make you do this. Your PO's going to make you do that. Your PO's going to make you do this. It's scary. It's terrifying. And when I got out, I walked on self-imposed eggshells so much, and I made my own life so much more difficult than it needed to be, because I would walk on eggshells when I wanted to, and then I wouldn't when it became hard. And so I was living kind of a dual lifestyle, in front of friends and parents and people that didn't know that part of my lifestyle. I was goody two-shoes around them. I couldn't do wrong, or I wouldn't do wrong. Better way to phrase that. And because of that, they thought that everything was going good. And then I'd get around the wrong people, and that would lead to issues. And then I kind of get stuck around the wrong people, albeit by choices that I made and the decisions that I made myself. Absolutely, I would get stuck around them because I didn't want to be around my family while I was in that condition of using and drinking. Yet when I'm with them, I use and drink. So it was like I got myself stuck in there. Anyways, so terrifying. Terrifying to get out. And I remember I went to it's like it's reentry house, halfway house, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't so much because I had gotten in trouble for drinking or using. I actually don't have any crimes. Well, I don't have any felonies that deal with alcohol usage or drug usage. It's because when in Wisconsin, if you don't have anywhere to go and you can't stay with family and you don't have any friends or any money to get a place, they got to stick you somewhere because the DOC, Department of Correction, DOCC or DCC, Department of Community Corrections, needs to be able to keep a tab on you. So you need an address and a place that has a phone line that works. And so using tax dollars, we could stay there, I believe, up to 6 months with regular check-ins from local sheriff department, and POs would come over and randomly pop in, and it was a place to stay. The only issue was that, yet again, you were around other criminals. And more often than not, you were around criminals that didn't want to take accountability. And so instead of, learning, I just learned instead of learning how to be a better citizen and truly rehabilitate myself, I just learned how to be a better criminal. And how to be a better addict and alcoholic. So, that's kind of what happened. From there, I honestly can't give you much. I really can't. I know that my yet to be first wife, me and her were on and off like crazy. We had one of those relationships where when things were going good, they were good. But when things were going bad, they couldn't have possibly gone any worse. And we probably spent 95% of our time in the couldn't have gotten any worse stage. And then we were on and off. This was a time. No, yeah. So I had met her before this, but not much. So we were still at the kind of get to know you part of our relationship, and so it was still honeymoon type phase stuff. Uh, Made big plans, had goals, but I wasn't willing to work for them because I cared about her, and I still wish her the best. But I don't know if at that time in my life I actually truly loved her for who she was. And as much as I was fighting my demons, she was fighting some pretty big demons of her own. And in a sane world, there's no way that we should have been together. I couldn't help her, she couldn't help me, and even if we could, we needed to figure out some stuff on our own first. So that kind of went like that. Um, what else happened? And so I did a lot of couch surfing at this time frame because I didn't have once my 60, 90, or 90 days were up. I would get one of my friends who felt sorry for me and wanted to help me out. They would let me, crash on their couch and use their address so that the PO would get off my back. And just thinking about it like that shows you that I was not in the right mind frame. Because the PO wasn't trying to stay on my back. The PO was trying to help me stay out of prison. And yeah, sure, they're absolutely not great parole officers or extended supervision agents, whatever you want to call them. Absolutely. But that's in there's good cops, bad cops, good POs, bad POs, good judges, bad judges, good prison guards, bad prison guards. They're everywhere. It's a human condition, not an occupational condition. And had I listened to her, and had I actually done what I was told, instead of listening to all the jibber jabber in my ear about how bad my PO was and how much she was going to throw me in jail even though I didn't do anything, even though I definitely had been doing some stuff I shouldn't have been, I'd probably be in a much more positive situation than I was at the time. And honestly, that's kind of all I remember of that time, up until the second time I went to prison. Because I remember that, and part of the reason why is I was angry, and I was angry to a point that it stuck with me. It stuck with me so much that I can remember how it felt to this day. It was probably one of the angriest I had ever been my entire life up to that point, and also scared. But I'm gonna leave it there. Little cliffhanger for next week, and this is gonna be the end of this one. So, thank you guys. Um, I am floored. I am up to 43 followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, and I cannot thank you guys enough. I really hope that either my hobby Fridays, what I learn Wednesdays, or my life story Monday/Tuesdays makes a difference in your life. I hope that you can learn something, even if it's something that I didn't learn, from the stories you hear and the things that I figured out from it. That's what this channel is ultimately about. And so I really, really hope that it speaks to your heart and you come out with a better understanding, more compassion, more sympathy, more love for yourself, whatever the case may be. But from the bottom of my heart, your support, even if it's just subscribing, means so much to me. And I've gotten a few comments, and I didn't get any confirmation if I could, shout them out, but you know who you are if you're watching this. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the likes. This has been fun, and I can't wait to see where this goes, or even if it goes anywhere. But I'll be here, and I hope to see you here as well. Always remember, if we're gonna change the world, we gotta keep ourselves in the right mind so we can change ourselves. Thank you guys, and have a good